Welcome back to the Ancestral Findings podcast. In this episode, we are busting the idea that people who share a last name must be related. Surnames can provide useful clues, but they can also lead us toward the wrong family. We'll look at how surnames developed, why their spellings changed, and how records and DNA can help you determine whether a connection is real. Finding someone with your family's last name can be exciting. Maybe the name appears in a census, cemetery record, online family tree, or DNA match list. The spelling is right, the family lived in the same general area, and suddenly a new branch of your tree seems to be taking shape. It is easy to think, we have the same surname, so we must be related. Sometimes that turns out to be true. A shared surname can be an important clue, especially when the name is unusual and appears in the same community over several generations. But a surname alone does not prove a family connection. Surnames developed at different times and in different ways around the world. Many began as simple descriptions that helped distinguish one person from another. Some came from occupations. That is how names such as Smith, Baker, Miller, and Cooper developed. Others came from places or landscape features. Names such as Hill, Wood, Brook, and Atwood could describe where someone lived. Some surnames grew from nicknames or personal characteristics. Names such as Brown, Young, Short, and Strong may have started this way. Patronymic surnames identified people through a parent. Johnson originally meant son of John, while other cultures use their own prefixes, suffixes, and naming patterns. The important point is that none of these surnames had to begin with one family. Many unrelated blacksmiths could become Smiths. People living near different hills could become Hills. Countless sons of men named John could become Johnsons without sharing a recent ancestor. That is why the same surname may have several separate origins. The more common the name, the more careful you need to be. If you are researching a William Brown who lived in Ohio during the 1850s, you may find several men with that name in the same region. To separate them, compare their ages, occupations, spouses, children, neighbors, landholdings, churches, and migration patterns. One William Brown may have been a farmer married to Elizabeth. Another may have been a carpenter married to Sarah. Their names bring them into the same search results. That does not make them the same person or members of the same family. An unusual surname can make a possible connection more promising, but it still does not prove one. The name may have developed independently in more than one place. It could also be an altered or translated form of another name. Geography can strengthen the clue. Two families with an uncommon surname living in the same small community deserve attention. If they attended the same church, witnessed one another's documents, bought neighboring land, or used the same unusual given names, the possibility becomes more interesting. Even then, the connection must be supported by records. Spelling creates another problem. Today, we expect a surname to appear the same way on every official document. Our ancestors did not always live in that kind of world. A clerk, minister, or census taker might write a name according to how it sounded. The person providing the information may not have known how to spell it, or may never have seen the finished record. Brown might appear as Brown. Smith could become Smith. An immigrant surname could be recorded in several different forms as a family moved between languages and communities. You may even find different spellings in documents created only a few years apart. Exact spelling does not prove a connection, and different spelling does not disprove one. When searching, try phonetic spellings, shortened versions, translated forms, and common letter substitutions. Study the entire family instead of rejecting a record because one name is spelled differently. Relatives did not always share a surname either. In some cultures, names changed from one generation to the next. Traditional patronymic systems could give children surnames based on their father's given name instead of a permanent family name. Marriage, remarriage, adoption, guardianship, and informal name changes could also place relatives under different names. A child might appear in a census under a stepfather's surname even when that name was never legally adopted. Immigrants sometimes shortened, translated, or changed their names. Brothers could even settle on different spellings of the family surname. Formerly enslaved people selected surnames for many personal and practical reasons after emancipation. A chosen surname does not automatically prove a biological connection to everyone else who used it. It also does not necessarily establish a family relationship with a former enslaver who carried that name. This is why family relationships must be built from lives and records, not matching labels alone. DNA can help, but it must also be used carefully. A DNA match who shares your surname may be connected through that family line. The match could just as easily come through another branch of your tree. The surname gets your attention, but it does not identify the relationship. Autosomal DNA becomes more useful when you compare family trees, shared matches, locations, and documented ancestors. Y DNA testing can help with some surname studies because the Y chromosome usually follows the direct paternal line. Two men with the same surname and closely matching Y DNA results may share a paternal ancestor. However, DNA does not automatically tell you that ancestor's name or where the connection belongs. You still need records to build the family line generation by generation. When you find someone who shares your ancestor's surname, build each family backwards separately. Do not connect the two lines simply because the names match. Look for the point where their records begin to overlap. Compare dates, places, spouses, children, parents, siblings, occupations, churches, cemeteries, land records, probate files, military service, migration routes, neighbors, and witnesses. Pay close attention to the people surrounding each family. A witness on a marriage record may later appear as an executor in a probate file. A neighboring household may contain a married sister. Two families who moved from the same county to the same new settlement may have traveled together. Those details can reveal a relationship that the surname alone cannot prove. Be especially cautious with online family trees. Someone may have connected two people because their names looked right and their dates were close. Once that connection is copied into several other trees, it begins to look established. But repetition is not evidence. Check the records attached to the relationship. Do they actually identify the parents? Or did someone fill an empty space with a person who happened to have the correct surname? An online tree may provide a useful lead. It should not make the final decision for you. So, does sharing a last name mean two people are related? They may be, but the surname alone cannot answer the question. A surname can guide your search, point you toward a community, and help you recognize patterns. The actual connection must be supported by records linking one generation to the next. The myth says the name proves the family. The truth is more useful. The name gives you a clue, and the records tell you whether that clue leads home. Here is something you can try. Choose one surname connection in your tree that you have accepted but never fully proven. Separate the two families and build a short timeline for each one. Compare their locations, relatives, neighbors, occupations, and records. Then ask one simple question. Other than the surname, what evidence shows that these families are connected? You may confirm a relationship you have suspected for years. You may discover that two similar-looking families were never connected at all. Either result makes your family tree more accurate, and that is what good genealogy is all about. If you've got a hard-to-find ancestor you're stuck on, I'd love to hear about it. Just head over to ancestralfindings.com and click on Contact to send me a message. While you're there, take advantage of our free weekly genealogy lookups. Explore thousands of articles and enjoy hundreds of podcast episodes. We've been helping family history researchers since 1995. And if you're looking for even more, check out our Genealogy Gold Q&A series over on Patreon. Thanks for listening, and as always, happy searching.